Derrick Henry had something going on during Sunday's game against the Colts. Shoe was off, checking out the foot. We were paying attention to it as we monitor all of the games. What's up with Derrick Henry? Let's keep an eye on Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry ended up back in the game, so we assumed everything was fine. There was no chatter after the game about Derrick Henry being injured, no issues, no discussion, no conversation. Then out of the blue, Monday morning comes the news that he needs surgery, Chris, and may be out for the year. And this is a guy who's had a lot of wear and tear, college level and pro level. He had 46 carries in a game once at Alabama. Now, early in his career, he was kind of second fiddle to DeMarco Murray in Tennessee, so he didn't get a ton of touches. But in recent years, he's gotten more and more and more. And, usually it happens with a hit, but sometimes a tire blows out. And it's unfortunate because this guy was having an MVP season. Great player, great guy, fun to watch. Impactful player, and now he's going to be out, and who knows for how long.
I mean, unfortunate is right. I mean, yeah, it stinks. We're talking, in an era where running backs, might not get in the Hall of Fame that easily. This is one guy where you look at and he's going to go. We go, well, he's a running back and he's getting in the Hall of Fame easily. I already know that. I don't need to see much more of his career. He's definitely going there. I mean, for my money, Derrick Henry has already reached the stratosphere of the top running backs in the history of football conversation. I mean, come on, we're talking about a guy where we go, well, when there's no hole, he can still mash it up in there and get 4 yards. And when there is a hole, he can take it 85 yards to the house and outrun everybody on the field. Like, that skill set is, unheard of, since Jim Brown. I mean, quite honestly, to be able to be the bell cow and be the most explosive guy on the field is a combination we've never seen in football. And that's where he's special. He's special to their football team. Yeah, you said it. They ride him hard. And, the Titans were rounded into a team in the AFC where we can go, and I know we've talked about this a little the last 2 weeks, where you can go through the AFC and go, of all the top teams, I got questions about every one of them in the AFC. And I know we've had this conversation with the NFC. There's less questions with the top teams. Tennessee was starting to look like that team where you went, I don't know. I don't know if I have a lot of questions. Things seem to be trending in the right direction on both sides of the ball. We're getting close, I think, and I think we can echo even like Tony Dungy to where you're starting to some of the conversations on Sunday where, maybe Tennessee is the best team in the AFC, the most well-rounded team in football, but not with Derrick Henry. So I was sitting there at the point going, man, Tennessee's Super Bowl contender, Super Bowl team. That's what they're starting to look like. But no Derrick Henry, I don't think that. It totally changes my thought of their football team completely.
And I think at some point in the run-up to this season, I said, in the many hours that we talk about football when it's not football season, and it's just the law of averages eventually between Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry. Somebody's getting hurt. It's not going to be healthy wire to wire. And for a team like that is so heavily reliant on Derrick Henry, I saw you had on Twitter the question of who's the most irreplaceable non-quarterback in the NFL, and Derrick Henry won in a landslide. Now, of course, there's recency bias because he's injured.
Sure, but I think it's
fair.
The
other guys, Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett, you've got 10 other guys who play defense. You've got multiple other guys who do the same things that Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald do, even though they don't do it as well. You got one lead running back on your team, and you take Derrick Henry off of the Titans. What do you do next? How do you even begin to replace the impact he has as a runner, as a pass catcher, and as a natural decoy?
That's
Not
what
that
it
he
is.
is a decoy.
Right.
He's just a magnet for attention. We had the highlight package after the win over the Chiefs, the Derrick Henry effect. And you pointed out, they all go where Henry goes. They all go where Henry goes.
Yeah.
Now you don't have that guy that acts like a magnet for attention. Jeremy McNichols? No. Adrian Peterson, much as I love him, no. Not at 36.
Right.
I mean, it's amazing that he's the guy who got the call. When you have Todd Gurley out there, when you have other younger guys floating around, there's running backs everywhere. I'm impressed that they're giving Adrian Peterson a chance because he's still got it to a certain extent. But it's not going to be Derrick Henry.
No.
It's not going to be close to Derrick Henry.
No. I mean, you said it right. First off, the team is built around him and the style that he provides for the offensive side of the ball. He helps out the defense, and more importantly, yeah, like you're explaining, the Derrick Henry effect, it's real. I mean, think about the Titans in their game. It's either run the ball with Henry to the left, run the ball with Henry to the right, run the ball outside, either way. Oh, play action pass A.J. Brown. Run the ball, play action pass A.J. Brown. That's the only thing on their stat sheet. When they're rolling, that's all it is. Now, I know they got Julio Jones, and hopefully he can come back and help them out because they're going to need the passing offense to be hitting on all cylinders to make up for the lack of Derrick Henry. But, again, you know, that's to me a big question mark. It is. You know, again, Arthur Smith moved on. You got a new offensive coordinator in Todd Downing. I haven't necessarily looked at that offense and gone, wow, when they don't run the ball, wow, they can still beat you with the drop back pass game and carve you up. You know, so that's going to be a huge question to be answered. But, like, I mean, you laid it out there perfectly. And, you know, the effect he has is great because you have no choice but to go all in to stop him. It compromises your team because if you don't go all in, it'll be 2nd and 4 every play, let alone a bigger run every now and then. And what you're also scared of is, yeah, you know, 2nd and 4, he's going to bludgeon us to death with that. But also, like, we got to go all in because it could be 70-yard touchdown too. And it just leads to so many other avenues being opened up for that offense. And that's the effect he has. And that's just a shame to see him get hurt.
It really is a shame, and it just shows you how that lightning bolt can come anytime, any place, anywhere that dramatically changes the fortunes of a team. From riding as high as you can, feeling like you have a chance to be the 1 seed in the AFC, a real chance to be the 1 seed. A Sunday Night Football showdown against the Rams on the immediate horizon.
Yeah, I know.
Derrick
that would have been
Henry's
awesome.
gone.
I know.
Derrick Henry's gone.
But, Mike, really, like, who else? Who else is in that category of him as far as, like, non-quarterbacks that are most important to their football team, right? I mean, you know, that was a question. It kind of just came up organically on my podcast yesterday. But, like, it's hard to really nail down guys of that stature.
Who's the receiver right now that is like the clear-cut, gotta have him, draws double coverage everywhere he goes, matchup nightmare that becomes a talking point? It was Tyreek Hill, but not anymore.
Yeah, I
Is there a guy? Is there a guy that defenses need to constantly fear and constantly have multiple? There really isn't
There's
one
not
that has
that guy
Randy
right
Moss
now. You're
effect.
right. That OBJ,
and there isn't a tight end
Julio,
that has the Rob Gron. Remember with Rob Gronkowski in his prime, every week it was, what are they going to do? How are they going to defend him? How are they going to stop him?
Yeah.
There isn't an offensive player like that right now that is striking that kind of fear on a consistent basis into defenses. It was Derrick Henry and only Derrick Henry. I mean, your other options from your poll yesterday were defensive players.
I know.
It just proves it.
Yeah.
There isn't a non-quarterback right now who is striking fear and forcing game planning and extra stomach acid when you get ready to play a given team.
Yeah.
It's quarterback or it's pass rusher.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're right.
Without Derrick Henry.
I'm sitting here looking at it right now, just trying to, you know, brainstorm more players. And, yeah, there's nothing that really jumps out to you. Maybe Jamar Chase was reaching that level to a degree, but not there yet. You're right. We don't have that receiver right now. That was that Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, you know, OBJ back with the Giants, where you'd go like, what? I've never seen a team even do this to a receiver. Julio Jones in his prime with Atlanta, that same type of thing. There is not that guy right now. There's not, that you just look at and go, oh my gosh, he's completely changing the game. And that's, you know, that's what Derrick Henry does do. And, yeah, that's why he's special. And it makes me think differently of this Titans football team going forward.
Devontae Adams is close.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
when the Packers are 7-0 over the last 2 years without Devontae Adams,
it's hard to say.
It's kind of hard to say he's
Thank
not
you.
replaceable.
Right.
Right?
Yes, Devontae Adams is awesome, but what I try to tell people all the time is he's not the physical talent of a guy that teams look at it and go, oh my gosh, if we cover him man-to-man, he's just going to run by us for 80-yard touchdowns. No, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, man, they use him in a lot of different ways. Oh my gosh, he's a really good route runner and does everything well, but doesn't strike that fear into you. Not the fear Derrick Henry does, where you go, if we don't have 9 guys within the line of scrimmage, we're in deep crap today because he's just going to tear us apart. No, So that's where he is truly another level of a running back right now, and their team's framed around it, and that's what makes it kind of a double whammy.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.